Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's chart remains bullish. Bitcoin is consolidating just below the all-time high. And I know that, there are some people who are complaining about how boring Bitcoin at the moment is. Wow, I mean, really? I don't think so. I mean, Bitcoin is super interesting. Bitcoin is just below the all-time high. It's normal, obviously, that a chart slows down a bit before just below critical resistances, just below critical pivot points and pivots on charts. I absolutely don't mind Bitcoin going sideways for a bit in this region. Absolutely not. The reason is it has already rallied a lot. What we want is that the altcoins are finally moving. They are doing that, okay? They are doing that at the moment. And the altcoins are moving if Bitcoin is consolidating on a high level. That's typically what we see. Money is flowing into the crypto space. The retail is coming in, and that is often the case close to all-time high territory. We've seen that in previous cycles as well. We've had a member live stream a couple of months ago. Actually, I think it was even maybe end of last year. And it was about the upcoming altcoin season, to be prepared, to get positioned, because, reality is there are going to be so many charts that are rallying, and I don't have the capacity to cover them all, right? Specifically talked about that in a member live stream back then, which you can watch if you join the membership. You can rewatch all the recordings. We have them weekly. But bottom line was that, the idea was, the recommendation, I can't give advice, of course, but the recommendation was at the time to get positioned, because if Bitcoin gets close to or into all-time high territory as per previous cycles, that's typically when you noticed on Google, that was a dog, by the way, on Google, the search results go up for Bitcoin and also altcoins specifically, right? And that's typically when you started to see a lot of altcoins start to go to the moon. That's a process we witness right now everywhere. I mean, I think we're still early, but a lot of coins have already moved, right? And the idea is to get positioned because you want to be positioned for that rally and not, TA is important, but then rather zoom out and look at the bigger picture for that altcoin season. And as long as Bitcoin is consolidating at a high level, this is, I think, a development that could carry on and could continue. Now, here on the daily chart, I always want to show you that first, at least once a day, so that we get an understanding of where we are in the cycle. At the moment, the idea is that we're still in this larger wave 3 there in white. I'll probably do some work on the weekend to look at the daily chart to see if there are any changes necessary. I want to play around with some scenarios, so I might make some changes, but at the moment that doesn't affect at all the levels or anything. So my idea is still that we are in this larger wave 3. A wave 4 pullback at some point should happen. That would be quite substantial because it will be the wave 4 that relates to this wave 2. Originally, my assumption was maybe this is already the case here. Not yet. Okay, so on the same day when we started to see that pullback, I said, okay, probably not yet. The reaction isn't typical for that kind of wave 4. So let's recalibrate, and we probably are in an extension of that third wave. And I indicated that we're likely here in this circle wave 3 still. Maybe it's finished. Maybe we get another high in circle wave 3. We are going to take a look at that on the 1 hour chart to try to answer that question. But the idea is that we should either still see the wave 4. Well, we should either see the wave 4 complete, here circle wave 4 before circle wave 5 starts, or we still need to finish circle wave 3 before circle wave 4 starts. So we have not yet seen probably that dip into the mid 50K region that I would still like to see. But overall, all of that is bullish. If we see that pullback, it's going to be another opportunity to maybe load up. Yeah, this, granted, on Tuesday happened so quickly, most people did not were not able to add positions on. I would say, this happened very, very quickly, this pullback, and it was bought up immediately. Okay, let's take a look at the shorter time frame. Here, really, there is no change to yesterday. So the idea is, as I said, either wave 3 has topped. That is the short-term bearish scenario embedded in a larger bullish scenario. Here we've topped in the wave 3, an A wave down. This is likely a B wave rally. It looks corrective. We have overlaps here. Not very strong upside momentum, which is normal, as I said, just below critical pivots. And then we could see a C wave to the downside. into that, what did I say, mid 50K region, right? Mid to high 50K region. But there is currently no evidence that this C wave has started. It's a potential at the moment, which at the moment hasn't materialized itself yet. So it's a potential that's worth watching, that we get this pullback in wave C of 4. But I said yesterday, I need to see further evidence for this, because at the moment the price is printing higher highs, higher lows. What I need to see minimally is a small 5-wave move down and a break below 64,610, and then followed by a break below 62,800. That would all confirm that further, that we're coming down in this C wave of wave 4. Until then, because the market is printing higher highs, higher lows, it's also reasonable to watch the white count. What's the white count? The white microstructure is just an extension of wave 3, basically assuming wave 3 might still be unfolding. And in this scenario, we are printing higher highs, higher lows here. And the next upside fibs are 70,585, which would be the first ideal target here for the white third wave. It's, by the way, a diagonal pattern, not an impulse, diagonal. Otherwise, the proportions don't really work out. They don't fit. Then we should get a wave 4 pullback and another wave 5 that could reach 72 to 73K. That's basically an active setup. The price is set up to get there basically, but only as long as we're holding 62,800, because below that level, the white microstructure is invalidated. Yeah, these are the levels and potentials we're watching on the shorter time frame. They are both bullish. The only difference is that in one scenario, we're already in wave 4. In the other one, we're printing or going to print one more high before this wave 4 starts. Market doesn't know itself. Okay, that's why it's so slow and consolidating just below all-time high territory. But could be an interesting day. We'll see what happens. And both scenarios, and that's very important, I think, to realize, both scenarios are bullish. And it's wise to think about, okay, what is the effect on my portfolio in both of these scenarios? Now, I think it's fairly straightforward. I think a dip could lead to a buy decision, whereas a rally either means, okay, I'm holding longer, depending on what I want to do with my portfolio, or I'm going to take some profits. Very simple, because ideally people have core positions, ideally people are positioned. But very important, I think, that next minor wave here to the upside, that's not going to end a larger rally. I think we are then still expecting a wave 4, which could, yeah, be a bit of a pullback, but is that really enough to, is that enough reason to sell or maybe take some partial profits? Yeah, but then rather use that next dip maybe to accumulate again. But that's up to you, and that really depends on your own portfolio and so on. Yeah, hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.